presented by Memphis Shades, the clear choice for custom windshields and fairings for your motorcycle. And Wild Ass Seats, stay in the saddle longer and in total comfort no matter your butt or budget.
Everybody, welcome back. Another week, another podcast. Five Dirty Bikers are here with a very talented human being from Canada. We have Ria the Welder. Ria, thank you for joining us this week.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, like I said, we got a very talented human being here. If you aren't familiar with Ria the Welder, the name pretty much says it all. It's her name and what she does for a living, right?
That's right.
All right. So I guess let's go ahead and start it off. We know your love of motorcycles is kind of came first, right? And then to get into something that belonged in that hobby / genre or whatever, you wanted to do welding.
Yeah, that was the first thing that came to mind.
So when did the love of bikes come about?
I had a love of motorcycles from early on. My parents never rode, but my neighbors did. So they'd take me out on the bike or, when I was a little kid, and then I got a little older and I had boyfriends that rode motorcycles and I was always riding on the back. And then, the regular story, I didn't want to ride on the back. So I got my own, learned how to ride and got on the front.
Nice. So welding, when did that sweep in?
So, I guess it was kind of around the same time that I started riding. I went to trade school and I did like an introduction to trades course, and I learned how to do all kinds of different trades like pipe fitting, welding, painting, tile setting, cement finishing, all kinds of stuff. And then I chose welding, and they put me right into a welding class or a welding school. It was C-level, it was called. And when I went into school, we had our first project we were doing with like oxyacetylene welding. And if you don't know what that is, it's old. It's really old. It's like the old way how they used to weld. And it's where they mix two gases, make a flame, and then you dip in a rod. And they said, okay, you kind of know the basics, now make something. And I actually made a SISSY bar, but I made it out of like 1.5 inch flat bar. And I had like the two pieces of flat bar together. And then I used TIG rod to put like a spider web in the middle. It was awful, but it was like my first crack at welding. And it was like a SISSY bar, first project. And then, so I went through school, finished school, and then I got a job working in a different town. I moved. And once I got comfortable there, I asked if I could stay after work one day and make a SISSY bar for my Harley. And they said, of course. And so I made one. It had like a simple little heart in it. And it was very simple, but people would see it and they say, oh, I like that. Can you make me something? And I'm like, sure. And then it just kind of like spiraled from there.
Nice. How long has that been going on then?
Since 2014, I've been welding. Yeah. So like the SISSY bars kind of started right away for me. So yeah, since 2014.
So are you still a production welder too, or do you just do your custom stuff full time now?
So I worked in a fab shop. I worked in a few different, three different fab shops, 3 or 4. And from 2014 or 2015, when I finished school, up until probably the beginning of 2019. And I got laid off because it was like really slow. And then I got pregnant.
Wow.
So I got pregnant, and then I had a kid, and then COVID happened. And so I was just like looking after the kid, and then we bought a house. So I moved into this really small town where there's like not much industrial going on. So I figured, why not build a shop at home and just try to make this thing happen full time? And over the time of being pregnant, I kept my list going. So people would continuously order sissy bars, put in their request for a sissy bar while I was pregnant for like 3 years. So I have a good amount of orders that I can do. So I didn't need to go get another job. So short answer, no.
Short answer is no. She's not a production welder.
Not anymore. No.
Well, as bad as the luck was there for a while, it's good to see that, you know, you had this skill that you were able to use to get you through, you know, this rough time with COVID, you know, and, you know, having a baby and then all this just happening 1, 2, 3 with, you know, with the job loss. It's just, it's great. It worked out that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I'm happy with how it turned out. Now I got this beautiful shop all to my own, and I work for myself, and it's been really great.
Where do you go to when you have a human resources problem and, you know, when you're your own boss? Like, who do you get to yell at? Just
she turns the hat around, and she goes, "You're talking to a motherfucker."
Yeah. You know what? I go inside and I roll a joint.
Well, even better. Part of being your own boss. Part of being your own boss. There you go. I mean.
Yeah, I call it a day, whatever I want to do. Crack a beer, you know.
Hell yeah.
No,
that sounds great.
No, I like working for myself. I've always been kind of like go to the beat of your own drum kind of person, so it fits for me.
Well, I tell you, you are super talented. I you know, when I found out that we were going to have you on the show, I started looking through your Instagram and your website, and the stuff you're producing, I've never seen anything like it. I really haven't. I mean, it's you are blessed. You are super talented.
That
Thank you.
sissy bar with the eye, is that like a glass marble eye you're using for this one? I know people listening can't hear this, but for the YouTube version, this is amazing work.
Thank you. That is a glass eye. I got it from a pipe maker, a local pipe maker. He lives a couple hours away from me, and I messaged him one day and asked if he could make me a realistic eye, because I had this idea. That sissy bar, I just kind of like thought, I want to throw an eyeball into a sissy, make it super extravagant. And yeah, he ended up sending me like a few different ones, and now I got another batch of eyeballs, and they're kind of like more like dragon's eyes.
Cool.
And you've actually
really
made cool. You've used those, right? You made a couple of dragon, or at least I think I saw one or two with the dragon eyes.
Right.
I don't know if I've seen those.
It's actually right behind me. This one.
Hey, with the new Game of Thrones series out now, you're liable to sell a few of those.
You know, what were we thinking?
Hey, I've never been big into Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, but people keep telling me that it reminds them of it. So that's cool.
Why didn't we commission her to do a Uranus sissy bar for us? She could have done that. I would have proudly put that on my bike to ride for the meetup in Uranus.
I wish we had thought of that.
Wow.
Big old starfish.
Wow. The sissy bars are an amazing talent, and
yes,
and they are something that definitely, you know, is certainly unique, and it lends itself to a very specific motorcycle rider. But she also does something that appeals to motorcycle riders and non-motorcycle riders alike, and that is the very custom bottle openers that you do.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Let's talk about these.
Dustin, I should have expected you to have the pictures ready.
There was no fucking way we were going to do this podcast and not talk about these.
I mean,
well, there's the oyster one. That's the first one, right? That's from the oyster bar.
That is from an oyster bar.
You guys you say dick and penis all the time, and you can never use the word vag or anything like that. It makes you so uncomfortable.
That's not an oyster?
You never say that.
It looks like a peach.
I thought it was an oyster.
Looks like a bird cage.
Some people say grenade.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
A grenade, yeah.
It'll explode. That's for
Pull
sure.
the pin and
that'll
it
blow up for
explodes.
sure.
Yeah, it is
That'll blow
bomb.
you up in a heartbeat.
It's bomb, all right.
I think Brittany ordered 3 last week.
So obviously the folks on the podcast can't see what we're seeing.
Right.
So who wants to take a stab at?
You want us to
describing this?
describe what we're seeing, Dave? Well, obviously it's a vagina and a large, looks like a spotted penis.
So these are, ladies and
looks
gentlemen.
like-
Yeah. These are bottle openers.
Make sure you
It's
come
weird.
to our YouTube channel to see the YouTube version of this podcast.
There's like
So-
a huge dick on my computer screen right now. It
So
feels
Ria,
weird.
what's the story behind these bottle openers?
Oh man, I don't know. I like to add a little bit of humor to everything. So, I always get people who assume I'm making something. Like, for example, the eyes that I made, like the outside of the eyes. Someone, before it was finished, before it had an eyeball in it, someone says, "Is that a vagina?" So, my work sometimes gets mistaken for like penises and vaginas. I'll just say it. So
All the time?
I thought that I'd make them, for people who want to support me, but don't exactly need a sissy bar in this time.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's an absolutely a great idea, and I like the fact that you've provided bottle openers for everyone. I mean, if there's a bottle opener for everyone here. If you feel like you want to hold on to a dong and open a bottle, you can do that. This is dangerous though, because I was thinking about this just now, because honestly, if you with as large as it was on my screen, if you look at the shape of the penis bottle opener, that looks like it could be a sissy bar. Actually, quite functional one too, because you could strap all kinds of things to it. Now, the problem is though, is that if you
strap
had a
things to
sissy
yours,
bar,
don't you?
all the time, a saddle
Your
actually
sissy
on
bar.
occasion.
Yeah. Okay.
If it was on the back of your motorcycle, how long do you think it would take before someone rear-ended you? That's the thing, right? If you had this
That's a really good
huge
point.
sissy bar that in the shape of a penis on the back of your bike, guaranteed you're going to get rear-ended.
Hang
sooner
on.
than later.
Why in the world would someone want to rear end you because you've got a penis on your sissy bar?
I think they wouldn't be
They'll
able to
be
take their eyes off
distracted.
it, and they would forget to hit their brakes.
Yeah.
They would
Total
be distracted by the giant dong sissy bar on the back of your bike. Because if you're going to do that, if you're going to do a sissy bar like that, Percy, you're not going to do one that's just, small. You're going to do one that you can strap a full-size military duffel bag to.
Well,
It'd
Right,
have to be at
full-size-
least, 24 to
full-size.
36 inches.
24 to 36 inches completely, without a doubt. I would say 36 inches powder coated.
I mean, mine that I have now
either
is
that
24.
or chromed. I mean, you either have to powder coat it or make it chrome. But I mean, 36 inches all the way to the top, and it would be a sight to behold. And I guarantee you'd get into an accident.
Ria, are these hot sellers?
Yes, they are. Yep. People
Nice.
love them for sure.
How much
They
do
see
they
it
cost?
$25. They're powder coated as well, so they're gonna
Nice.
last.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you can go to riathewelder.com and pick you up one of these phallic bottle openers.
Oh, I'm gonna.
We might need a couple for Hogs and Frogs next month.
That'd make a good giveaway.
There we go.
You guys send me your mailing address, and I'll send you a
And
couple.
we could do the oyster one for the people that like the oysters.
people that like oysters.
Even though we're eating frogs next month, we'll have a
Do you have a frog leg one?
So do you have to know specifics about specific bikes then to know, like if I said I have X bike, so you must have to know the dimensions of what the sissy bar needs to be to fit it on that bike.
So, I always get measurements from every customer before I build a sissy bar. I get their exact bolt distance. I get pictures and their fender width, and if they want it inside or outside the struts. Yeah, but there's some bikes that I just can't do without having the bike with me. But for most Harleys, they're pretty standard, and I can get measurements from rural or remotely.
Can Can you do the Harley quick release?
I don't have, I haven't made any quick release brackets. I do make them quick release if, someone has their own brackets. I can weld a new SISSY to it or modify that one. I do have a project coming up where someone wants me to make stainless steel detached brackets. So that's something I'm going to have to figure out in the next couple weeks here. I'd love to be able to offer quick detach because people really like it, but also it's kind of, people don't want it because they don't want someone to take their custom.
That's why you put a lock on it. Put locks on it.
Yeah.
So you could if somebody bought a quick release SISSY bar and they sent it to you, you really could just cut the actual bar off and weld your bar to your design to it.
Yes, and I have done that. I've done that a lot, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to eBay right now while you guys are talking. Keep talking. Go find it. Cheap quick release on eBay.
So Ray, you've been working for yourself for a while now. You mentioned COVID and everything like that. So at this point, how backed up are you on orders? Like if I wanted to place, say I placed an order today for a SISSY bar, I had my idea, great drawing to you and everything. When could I expect at my front door?
I tell people 3 or 4 months, and that's only because I'm also a mom, right? So I don't have, he's only 2, or almost 3, but I don't have as much daycare as I would like, but I do what I can, and also they take time to do. So yeah, 4 or 5 months probably right now.
Okay.
I don't know the exact number of orders, but I do email people from months ago, and I either don't get a response or they say, oh, I'm not in the market anymore, or I had to get a cheap one just for this trip that I had. And, sometimes people will back out. I don't ever take like a deposit at the beginning. I just let them put in an order and I email them when I'm ready to do it.
Hey, Dave, that's for next riding season.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you send it to her now, and you'd have it all set up for next year, and you can show it off at FDBM. You could have that nice penis SISSY bar for next season.
Well, so I'm not really joking about this. I'm seriously thinking about it after looking at her stuff, but it would not be a penis or an oyster.
It would be an oyster.
It'll be both.
What about like a giant veiny nutsack swinging?
Probably doesn't go with the vibe of my bike or my YouTube channel, but
yes, it does. I say it does.
No, and I need it to be more straight up and lean
piece.
back.
You can put it on, take it off when you want to.
Hanging here now with Percy.
Make sure you put a curve in it too. He's old, so.
God damn, dude.
You deserve that one.
You guys are brutal.
Challenge accepted.
Let's sack up his bike, she says.
I'll talk to you without these others around, Ria. We'll do a
Sounds
deal.
good.
We'll do a deal. I like to support small business.
Yeah.
Oh, yours is going to be big business when she gets that bar on there.
Should be going down the interstate like this.
And just think, Dave, if you had it chromed against your black vest, it would look like you had a big dick on your back the whole time you were riding.
Hey, don't ride that shit shirtless because you'll get a suntan you'll never want to get.
I don't know why I come on to these things.
Are you currently riding right now? I know you got the 2-year-old and stuff. It probably makes it.
Oh, so yeah, I sold a Dyna. I had a Dyna. I sold it to fund my shop build. Mm-hmm. And I haven't got another one, but my partner rides a 2014 Street Glide with all the bells and whistles. So I just got back from a 4-day trip through the Kootenays in BC. on that, and it was pretty luxurious. It has cruise control.
Nice.
That's a game changer, cruise control. Because actually, I think all of us started on Sportstars, no cruise control, and now I've got the Sport Glide, and I mean, you can. Oh, it's so nice to have.
Brittany, have you ever used your cruise control?
Yeah.
When do you use it? Driving, you don't need a cruise control driving to the gas station.
Oh.
Hey, I drive farther than the gas station. You're
She
mixing
uses
me up
cruise
with
control
the
so
short
she can-
one that lives an
She can
hour
hold
away.
on with both hands because she has the bobble. So she has to.
That's what it is. Yeah, she's got to have cruise set because that head bobble's way too much for her.
So we talked earlier that you've been to the States, you've ridden in the States. Tell us about your times you've had down here.
Okay, so a few years ago, I did a trip down to Utah on my Sportster. It was from BC down to Utah. We did it 10 days back. It rained every single day.
Wow.
But
Ooh.
it was a trip of a lifetime. I went down to Motos in Moab, and that was a super fun event to go to. Yeah, I went to Dreamroll a couple times, California. Yeah, I haven't done as much riding through the States as I'd like to, but Utah was fun.
Yeah.
Utah's it's a beautiful state.
Mhm.
What's
Yeah.
the length of your riding season where you are?
Oh man, it is like probably like 4 months, 5 months if you're
Damn.
if you're like fair weather, without worrying about it gonna snow, or like you know you have to be super geared up because it's so friggin' cold. And it rained so much this year. It rained into like the end of June this year, every day, and it was like a lot of rain and a lot of snow. It's not very long. It's actually horrible.
So right now it's kind of primo weather, isn't it? Right now it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's actually a little bit cooler today, but it's around like 28 degrees Celsius, which is like, what's that in Fahrenheit? 90?
Yeah.
Ish?
something like
That's
that.
hot. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
warm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right-
it was
right
really
now.
hot riding last weekend through the Kootenays. It was like 35, 36.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super hot.
That's about what we get. 40 is like tops, like super heat. But the summertime, in the couple months where it gets hot, it's like about 35, 36.
Well, it sounded like from talking to you earlier before we went on that you were really wanting to come back down and hit the real southern states and partake in some good barbecue.
Yeah,
Sounds like that's right up your alley. That's what you like the most.
it is. Yeah, I would love to do that. Go down to Louisiana, and I want to go see Texas, and I want to go see all of it. Like one day I would love to get down there again. Take my kid, wait till he can get on the back of the bike.
Yeah, just do a barbecue tour. You could go down to Texas, hit Kansas City, and then like Memphis, St. Louis. It's,
Yeah, I really want to try like crawfish and like seafood boils. Like we don't have any of that up here. Like it's so rare to find that.
Idaho is it's a hidden gem in the United States. A lot of people don't know there's like 7 different climates in Idaho, and they have a volcanoes national park there. So there's a whole area of Idaho that looks like the topography of the moon. It has a lot of volcanic activity on it. And so if you've ever been to Hawaii has a huge area of it that's covered in volcanic rock, and there's parts of Idaho that look like that. There's a huge sand desert in Idaho. It's pretty crazy. It's a pretty unique state.
So where do they grow the potatoes?
That would be southern Idaho.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't know why they call it the potato. We grow more potatoes here in North Dakota than they have in Idaho. I don't understand that, but whatever.
I don't know either.
Because
It's
you're
weird.
in Canada, so you can't be the potato state.
Well, I'm not in
No.
Canada. I'm close, but I'm not in Canada.
You can piss and hit Canada.
I could. After this drink, I might.
Northern Manitoba.
That's right. Right. So I would be Southern Manitoba. Yeah, for sure. Before the borders got weird, that would always be a fun trip to go up to Winnipeg. I think it's the closest city to us that has 1 million people. For sure it is, actually. So our state doesn't even have 1 million people. So
I'll go up. We'll go to a Jets game.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Would be fun.
Do they ever play the Penguins?
Hell yeah, they do. They get their ass beat by them too. Ria, are you a hockey fan? Since you're in Vancouver, are you a Canucks fan? No?
I mean, I was actually downtown during the riots. I was downtown
I bet
Vancouver.
you- Man,
It was crazy.
that was something else.
Yeah, it
Fucking
was.
awesome.
It was insane. Like, I was like, I need to get the fuck out. This is gonna get dangerous very soon. I was like, just finishing work at the end of that game, and I was walking straight through downtown. I'm like, there's something bad happening right now.
There was like fucking Molotov cocktails being thrown and everything. There were police cars on fire. Everybody, if you don't know, when Boston played Vancouver for the finals was in 2010, I think it was, when Boston won. The Vancouver fans were so pissed, they rioted after the game, and they destroyed millions of dollars of damage to the city. It was tough to watch being a hockey fan.
That sounds like Boston fans a lot more than Canadian. I mean, Canadian people are very nice and kind. I would say that was probably just a bunch of Boston fans blowing off steam.
Nope.
No, man.
No?
It was also that same year that the Olympics were in Vancouver. So I think people were just a little bit juiced up from like all the sports happening.
Go sports. Let's burn something
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
You've talked about doing commission projects and that kind of thing. Have you ever had to fire a customer? Have you ever had a customer just be so difficult that you're like, you know what? This relationship isn't going to work out. We can't do this.
I have, and it's not fun, but it's the decision I have to make for myself. And like, why am I doing something that it's costing me money at this point?
Right.
You put in so much time into something, and it just, like, for example, I made something with an eagle once, and the eagle, she's like, why is he smiling? And I'm like, he's not smiling. And it was just like something that we couldn't agree on, kind of thing. So, yeah, it's not fun. It's happened maybe twice where I've had to like fire a customer, as you say. Yeah.
That's not too bad. I mean, for having your own business, just have a couple times where you're just,
Yeah.
The thing can't work out. Do you ever get the customers that are just like, they act like they're super important, and so they're just like, here, I know your Sissy bar is $300. Here's $500, but I want it in a week. Do you get that kind of stuff too?
Sometimes, but they don't offer more money.
Oh,
Those
Yeah,
guys.
we all just want shit right now. Like, give
now,
it to
yeah. See, now that's the right way to do it, right? If you're gonna be a little bit arrogant about it, at least you got to throw some more money on the pile.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want, I'm still like super respectful with my customers, but I'm also very stern, and I know what I like and what I don't like, and if someone is rubbing me the wrong way, then I don't have a problem like telling them to go find someone else,
Right. Or just like I mean, that's a really nice way of saying fuck off. That's kind of how I look at it, right? Have you had requests where they're requesting something that's out of your skill set that you just know you can't do, or are you like down for anything? You're like, I'll do it. It doesn't matter.
I'm pretty much down for anything, except if it's like, something that I don't really believe in, like, say if it's something racist or,
Sure.
something from our history that isn't right anymore, or if it's something that I don't believe in, like I'll just be like, oh, you should just go find someone else to do it. Like, I won't like do a noose on a sissy bar. I don't know. It's just
questionable for sure.
yeah. There's a lot of people that do them still, but I don't. But that's good because they can go find someone else who does it.
Right.
Totally. Yeah, it's no hate or anything. It's just not something that I believe in.
Sure.
Is right anymore, I guess.
Yeah. No, stand by your morals. Good for you. That's good.
Yeah.
I think
I try.
Just spend more time making these.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I recently made a vagina that is like a little bit more realistic looking than the bottle opener, and I put it in a sissy bar, and it's dripping.
I saw that one.
What?
Yep.
I didn't see that one.
So it
I
looks
saw
like
that
this.
one.
It looks like this eye.
Is that on Instagram?
But it's
I
this.
think it
It
is.
is. It's one of my more recent ones. I just shipped that one out, and those eyeball ones with the mushrooms and that vagina one, they're so hard to let go of because I spend so much time and
When you find
Did
one
you
that
find
works,
it,
it's hard to
Dustin?
let go of for sure.
It's hard to let go of the mushroom.
the dripping vagina was all me. I was like, yeah,
It looks it looks really cool. Sorry, I didn't
gotta
mean to
look
cut
at
you
this.
off.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah, I
yeah.
actually really like it.
Oh, I did see that. I
Thank
didn't
you.
realize what that was. I had to
Oh,
zoom in.
Dave.
Maybe you need to open your eyes, Dave.
You got to get more familiar with the female parts, apparently.
Apparently.
Oh.
So
Hey, I don't need to take
so
this shit from you, Brittany.
I'm looking at the one that you did with the dragon's claw and the eye in it right now.
Mhm.
And is the green hue to that, is that a photo effect, or is that an effect done with your torch, or explain that to me?
in the bar, in the metal part.
Yeah.
No, that would probably just be a filter. It pretty much, it's very metal looking.
Oh,
I have it right
okay.
here.
So that's a filter. I see what I
Yeah.
see what you're
Gotcha.
saying. Yep.
That's badass looking, man.
Yeah.
It's the
Isn't
Eye
it
of
though?
Sauron.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
It
that's
does
what
look like-
people keep telling me.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and that thing moves?
Look at that.
Oh,
Well,
that is super
It
dope.
won't. It won't when it's finished. It'll be epoxied in there.
Okay. Is that a
Yeah.
commission piece or just something that you did on your own?
This one I just did on my own, and it's actually still for sale.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
It would
I
be
mean,
cool to leave the eye the way it is. That way you want to turn it around so they can look at the people behind you and freak them the fuck out.
That would
Yeah.
be kind of fun if it rotated.
Put it on
Yeah.
like a Bluetooth remote. So you can spin it
Oh, that
around.
would be sweet.
Would be awesome.
So
That'd be cool.
the guy who made the glass eye, his name is Vagabond Glass. He actually makes pipes where the eyeballs in them spin. So you spin it and you hit it.
Oh.
Pretty cool.
Very
That is
cool.
neat.
Yeah, they just
Okay,
he
now
makes
I
them put in there. I
understand
don't know how he does it.
when you're saying he makes pipes. See, when you first said that, I
thought
didn't
the
make
other
the
pipe.
connection. Now I understand what you mean by he makes pipes.
I was
Now
surprised
Yeah.
you didn't smirk at fitting pipe earlier.
I mean, there are pipe fitters, right? I mean, that's a real job. But now I understand that's not what you're speaking of. So
I think they had those shirts in Uranus too.
So other than the ones that you have come up with that you just talked about, these sissy wires, what other projects were your favorite that a customer asked you to make?
So there's one that I made a while back, and it's got kind of like an arch tip, and it has an eye in it, and then it has like starbursts coming out of the top. That one's probably one of my favorite. It's not like a glass eye; it's just like an eye made out of metal. Yeah, I mean, I like it when people tell me kind of what they want, and they give me a little bit of artistic freedom. They send me a picture of something that they thought up or whatever.
well, and I think it lends itself well to the just the motorcycle culture and all of us wanting to make our bikes our own. I think that is that's just such a great way to reflect on, you know, who you are, to have something like that that's really truly a one-off. You know, I mean, there's probably very few things that we can do to our bikes anymore that are one-off. I think paint jobs and custom fabricated parts are probably the two things that are one-off kind of things we can put on our bikes. I think it's a great option for people that want to add that next level of flavor to make it their own. So I think Dave's idea of a big veiny dong with you know, old saggy balls on his sissy bar is such a great idea. I really do hope that he goes all in on that.
Are you following the 5 Dirty Bikers on social media? Find us on Facebook and look us up on Instagram and TikTok at 5 Dirty Bikers.